Hello and welcome. Playing a little game of Guess the Horror Movie Theme. Natalia, hey, hello. Hi there. Hi there. Guess the horror movie theme. Hopefully it's loud enough. Hopefully I'm loud enough. If you know the theme tune to this horror movie, have a little guess in the comments. Hey, Lacey. Natalia, it's not Ghostbusters, unfortunately not. There was some news recently, so Ghostbusters was released in 1984, yesterday. It was the anniversary of Ghostbusters' release, and a little teaser image was shared, if you remember correctly. If you saw it, that is, just a logo with some, like, ice maybe on it. So they are making a new Ghostbusters movie, but this is not the theme to Ghostbusters that's playing right now. Shayla, hi. Hello. Hi there. Welcome to the Horror Hangout. This is the first TikTok live ever that I've done for the Horror Hangout podcast. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about the best and worst horror movies of all time, and to make it a little bit extra fun, we're playing Guess the theme tune. Guess the horror movie theme tune. And we're not starting off easy. That's the thing. Hopefully the volume is okay of the music in comparison to me talking. If you need the music higher. Okay, so nobody's got that one so far. I'm going to play it one more time because this is a good one. Natalia, it's not Jeepers Creepers either, unfortunately. I'll move on if nobody gets it because I don't want to get stuck on the same music over and over again. Jeepers Creepers is a great movie, though. I do love Jeepers Creepers. We've covered Jeepers Creepers on the podcast. We covered, I'm just going to check the date and the episode number for that. So the Horror Hangout podcast is available on all platforms, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you'd get your podcasts. It's also on YouTube if you want to watch videos of us talking about the movie. We covered Jeepers Creepers. Okay, a few answers there, so let me just catch up. Shayla, Halloween. No, it's not Halloween, unfortunately. However, that is kind of close in terms of the director. The director of Halloween directed this movie which this music is from, so that's the closest so far. Natalia, Saw 5 and Scream. Unfortunately not correct. Unfortunately not correct. And Lacey, Friday the 13th. Unfortunately not correct either. But I'm going to say close in terms of the right sort of era. To be fair, when I started playing this song, I wasn't particularly familiar with it. Natalia, just give me one, please. Okay, right, okay. Let's give you a little hint. Directed by the same director as Halloween, John Carpenter. That's a hint. Unfortunately, it's not Nightmare on Elm Street either. We're going to stick on this one because we've got to get it. We've got to get it. So the same director as Halloween, John Carpenter. And it is good, it is funky. Funky, is that the right word? And we have never covered this film on the Horror Hangout podcast. Ever. I think it's about time we probably did. It's not Mickey Mouse and it's not Scary Movie, unfortunately. Mickey Mouse, is there a horror film version of Mickey Mouse? You might be terrified of Mickey Mouse in general if you're scared of mice or... Oh, Natalia, The Thing is close again. But it's not The Thing, it's not The Ward either, Natalia. So directed by John Carpenter and same sort of decade as well as The Thing. So if The Thing was 1982. Oh, it's not The Fog either. It's not The Fog. Shayla and Lacey. But you're getting close. You are getting incredibly close. Probably one of the Alright, I'm just going to go back a second. Right, okay, here's a clue. Here's a clue. Let me go back a second. Listen to this sound effect. Listen to this sound effect, and this is the clue. This is the clue, this sound effect. That was the sound effect. An 80s John Carpenter movie, and that sound effect there of an engine revving. An engine revving, not a motorbike. It sounded a bit like a motorbike, not a motorbike. An engine revving. That is the main clue. We can move on if nobody gets it, because Natalia is not Escape from New York. It sounds very similar to Escape from New York, to be fair, and that's because John Carpenter does a lot of the soundtracks for his movies himself. Okay, one more clue. A couple of people guessed The Thing, which he made in 1982, I believe. Now this movie he made the next year, 1 year after The Thing. It's not They Live either, Shayla, unfortunately not. Again, it all sounds very similar because John Carpenter did the soundtrack himself. All that synthy 80s awesomeness. Can you hear the soundtrack? Can you hear? That's a key, that sound effect. Natalia, Christine is correct. You've got it. Christine, the movie about a killer car based on Stephen King's 1983 novel of the same name. Christine is correct. Go Natalia, yes indeed. And then somebody with a little heart and sunglasses emoji also says Christine, so correct. Well done. Well done. Again, not like the most obvious one. I kind of thought when I started this live, maybe I'll do something that wasn't straight up easy. And maybe I should have... I say straight up easy, you know, a lot of people have got different knowledge of horror movie soundtracks. I wouldn't say I'm particularly great at guessing them. But shall we try one that's a little bit easier, maybe? Easier? Okay, so that was Christine. I'm just going to find another one to do. Oh, see, I want to do a hard one again. You can get a new song. Yes, of course you can. I'm going to do a slightly easier one. But thanks for playing along with that. Christine, have you seen Christine? Do you like the movie Christine? The killer car movie. I've only ever seen it once, I believe. But okay, here we go. Christine is a good movie, yes. Here we go. Shayla, it's not Saw. Lacey, it's not Scream. Natalia, it's not Friday the 13th. This particular piece of music probably isn't the most memorable piece of music from Psycho. well aware I gave the answer away then, so if you heard me say it, I was thinking about it too much. It's not the most famous piece of music from this film. It's not The Ring. It's not Insidious. Earlier. Think several decades before any of those horror movies. Did anyone hear me give it away? Okay. Don't think anyone got that one. However, I'm going to play the more famous piece of music from that particular film. It's not Frankenstein. It's not Nosferatu. Again, this isn't... That's a meme sound. I mean, it probably is a meme sound, but this is where it originated. Natalia, you've heard it. I'll play it one more time from the start. This is the one where the woman gets stabbed in the shower. Correct. Natalia, that is correct. What year? It's... I'll give you a decade. 60s. 1960s. But it's not Scream. 1990s. Probably took a lot from this particular movie. A lot of people think this is like sort of the beginning of slasher movies as well. This director didn't just direct horror movies either. But this is like, a lot of people consider this the most iconic early horror, well, 60s horror movie, and probably the most iconic of his films, you would say. It's not Night of the Living Dead either. It's not. Let's go back to the main theme from it. I'll give you guys some more. Maybe if I start... Here we go. Shayla, I feel like I know what you're trying to write there. It's not Night of the Living Dead. It's not Night of the Living Dead. Earlier than Night of the Living Dead, I think. Shower. Knife. Shower. Scream. Shayla, I feel like you're trying to write a certain word there that is close to what this movie is. Very close. Give you another clue? Okay. Another clue is directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Shayla, is it not Psycho? It is Psycho. Correct. You got it. It is Psycho. So this is like the main theme from it, but the music I played before, which was the... Now, don't know how much attention you were playing. Oh wait, Natalia, did you say Psycho? You said the one in the shower. Did you say Psycho? Apologies if you did say Psycho. Okay, apologies for anyone who said Psycho. You are correct. I actually did say it out loud. Oh, answers weren't coming through. That's okay, we'll move on to another one. We will move on to another one. Well, well done for everybody who got that. I love the fact that somebody said it was from a meme, which just goes to show like how horror music has changed. Something that a lot of people would have found very familiar, and now people are recognising it from TikTok and stuff, which I think is great. Shayla, you have to go, but you're answering on Lacey's phone. Awesome. Keep playing. Please keep playing. And of course, check out the Horror Hangout podcast as well, which is what I'm kind of talking about and promoting today. We've been doing a podcast now for like 6 years, almost 300 episodes of horror movies. And you can listen to it on all platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, everything like that. And we covered Psycho in episode 36 of the podcast back in 2017. We do like new movies, old movies. It is on Spotify, yes, Lacey. Horror Hangout podcast. If you go onto our page, you can click through to Instagram, and on Instagram there's a link on there which has got all of the platforms that we sort of put it on. It's on YouTube as well. But yeah, give us a follow on any platforms. But also our link is on there to our Patreon as well, where we do bonus content. Yeah. So should we do another one? Let's do another one. Let me find one. This again, I don't want to make it too hard. Don't want to make it too easy. Okay. I was using just sort of YouTube video with loads of them on there, but let's do this one instead. Here we go. Natalia, is the band you saw do the song from Psycho, is it Ice Nine Kills? Is it Ice Nine Kills? Because that great band and their version of a song, including that bit from Psycho, is great. I'm from Bristol in the UK. Ice Nine Kills played here in Bristol just 2 nights ago. My girlfriend went to watch them. I didn't actually go. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of that band, but love that song. Oh wow, you saw them play on Tuesday. Whereabouts are you from, Natalia? Because I guess you saw it in the UK tour? Ah, you saw them in Glasgow. Amazing. So, Glasgow, and I guess they played somewhere else, and then they came down to Bristol. Yeah, great band. Considering I'm like a big metal fan, and I love horror as well, they should be like the absolute perfect band for me. But I don't know. Something about them, I don't know, I'm just not quite... I like them, I'm just not a huge fan, I would say. Glasgow's in Scotland, yes. This one isn't Insidious. This is an older one as well. An older movie that had a remake/reboot last year. Play again from the start. We're thinking 1980s. Peppa Pig horror movie. Sounds pretty terrifying, doesn't it? Not that. Did you see that they made a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh recently called Blood and Honey? And Natalia, it's not Pet Sematary either. Let me see if I can find anything else. Okay, let me give you a clue for this one. It's based on the work of a very famous horror author Oh wait, you've got it. Isa, you've got it. Hellraiser theme, correct. You've got it. Oh, that's some good work. Hell yeah. I think I would have struggled to identify it because it's quite. So it's Christopher Young. I'm familiar with some of his music. I think he did some stuff on Spider-Man 3, but it's got that sort of. It's got that sort of really cinematic, ethereal sort of vibe to it. But yeah, the answer is Hellraiser for that one. So yeah, Natalia, not The Grudge, as you said. Lacey almost fell over. Did you almost fall over? Desperate to get the answer correct. But yeah, that was Hellraiser. So should we just try another one? I'll tell you what, I got a good one. I got a good one. So the main theme. Now this one is. Oh, this is an advert. Totally. Ignore this. This is one of my favourite films that I'm going to do the theme for now. One of my favourite films. A favourite film of mine so much that I've got some visuals from it tattooed. Hellraiser. Who got who was it who got Hellraiser correct? It was Isa. Okay, well, welcome to the live, Isa. This is. My name's Ben. Sorry, I haven't even said that. My name's Ben from the Horror Hangout podcast. We do a weekly horror movie podcast that's available on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that stuff. Here's the next one. Isa, I feel like a new expert has entered the chat. Isa, you're correct. You got that within 20 seconds. The Fly is correct. I thought we've got an expert. We've got an absolute expert in the room. And yes, I have got some stuff from The Fly tattooed here on my. Oh no, Natalia, leave! No, we can't have that. We want to enjoy our love for horror all together. I'll do some. Okay, maybe what we'll do, Isa, if you're too good and you're getting them all, you can sit out a couple of rounds. But well done. But yeah, I've got The Fly. I'll stand up to show you. I've got The Fly tattooed here. So it's like Brundlefly, full transformation there, and then we've got there is Seth Brundle, mostly transformed, looking all horrible, and then that's the pod. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's got a very distinct style to it, like a Japanese style tattoo artist did it. So yeah, it was. Yeah, The Fly is one of my favourites, and this one is my other favourite movie. I don't know if you can guess this artwork, what that film is from. I'm sure you'll see it. But yeah, The Fly is one of my favourites, solidly in my top 5. Isa is a horror movie expert, and all fans of the genre, whether you're an expert, a beginner, whether you're just getting into horror, we'll do another one now. Everybody is welcome. Okay, then, if Isa's an expert, let's... if Isa's an expert, let's see if we can challenge you, Isa, with this next one. And this was a film I only saw recently for the first time. Okay, here we go. That was a clue. Oh, it's beautiful. Isa, it's not The Brood. Oh, I love it. We're all deserving of compliments. Natalia, Lacey, you've been great participating in the game so far. It's not the easiest game. Yeah, so it's not The Brood. The Brood is brilliant. Another film that I only saw for the first time fairly recently. I'd say in the last couple of years. Okay. Should we try again? Let's try this one again. This one's almost like there's a sound effect at the start of this piece of music that is key to what the answer is, okay? So listen out for that sound effect at the start of this. Not yet. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? It's not Extra either. It's not. 1982's Extra, the Alien movie. It does sound like Isa does watch horror movie films. And as I said, no matter what level of horror movie fan, you're welcome. If you just started getting into the genre, or have you been watching it for decades and you've seen loads of them. Let's encourage each other to get the answer right as well. Help each other. Collaborate. Work together. Would you like a clue? Because it's not The Brood and it's not Extra. But 80s is correct. That is the right decade. It's not a 70s film, it is a 80s film. Mid-80s. And even though we've already had one based off of a Stephen King property, this is also based off of a Stephen King property. This is based off of, let me see if I can find a different piece of music actually from it. This is based off of a novella by Stephen King. A 1983 novella by Stephen King, and it was made into a movie in 1985. Okay, so you got a few clues there. Silver Bullet is correct. You've got it. Silver Bullet is correct. Well done. Need some clues, but I didn't doubt you for a second, Isa. A great film, like a really, really good werewolf movie, like a coming-of-age movie, with some really great special effects as well. Some of the transformation sequences are great. And it teaches you about not to play with fireworks. Something terrible happens to somebody involving some fireworks. Okay, what can we do next? What can we do next? 42-14, there we go. Let's try another one. Silver Bullet is the right answer. Here's a new one. Bad Moon from 1996. Let me have a look. Sometimes I need a little bit of a Oh no, I've not seen Bad Moon. But I'm pretty sure I've seen some bits from it and I thought I would like to watch that. How are the effects in Bad Moon? How are the werewolf effects? 1996. Yeah, Silver Bullet's great. Oh wow, that's a terrifying looking werewolf. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. One of my favourite werewolf films is probably Dog Soldiers, because I saw it pretty young. I saw Dog Soldiers I saw it in the cinema, and I love a good werewolf transformation. And with the Dog Soldiers stuff, it's just you don't see much for a while, and then when you do, you see them from head to toe. And there's some great effects. Directed by Neil Marshall. I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you know all this. I'm just chatting. And The Howling as well. And of course, the king of werewolf movies, An American Werewolf in London. But I will definitely check out Bad Moon, because that looks great. Did anybody get this one? Did anybody? I was playing a whole new piece of music and I completely forgot. Does anyone recognise this? Natalia, have I watched Christmas Death? Christmas Death? From 1985. Let me have a look. I'm not sure. Oh, I searched that as well. Natty, give me some good recommendations. If you've made it up, I'll never be able to find it. Or maybe you should go and make it. If you go and make the film Christmas Death. This film is... The film this music's from... Is it 80s? Oh, nearly 80s. It's the very late 70s, and another film that was based off of a book. Go make Christmas Death on your iPhone. Don't hurt anybody. Don't kill anyone. Nobody got any guesses for that piece of music? Not Salem's Lot. It's not. This one isn't based off of a Stephen King property. However, the book it is based off of is based on a true story. True story. I say true because, you know, don't think it's ever been officially... The events of it were ever officially caught on film. You have to go. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for playing the game. Remember, Horror Hangout podcast on all platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere else that you want to listen to a podcast. Weekly episodes. Every single week. ISIS, not Possession. Although we just covered Possession on the podcast. Just not last week, the week before. So that's 1981's Possession. We covered that on episode 285 of the podcast. I'll give you one more clue because I feel like I see you're close to getting it. This movie was remade in 2005, starring a certain Ryan Reynolds. Mr. Ryan Reynolds. And he's incredibly ripped in the film. Almost like unfairly ripped, where you're like, hang on a minute. The Amityville Horror is correct. You've got it. Well done, Isa, well done. And obviously all the crazy sequels we're getting of the Amityville Horror over the years, including Amityville in Space or something like that. Who knows how many there have been so far. Lots is the answer. Lots of horror movies, have a look. Wow. Nearly 30. Amityville 3D, Amityville High. Isa, you can carry on guessing because there's only 2 people in the live at the moment. You may be the only person guessing. Amityville Clown House, Amityville Exorcism, Amityville The Awakening, Amityville Toy Box. There are loads. There are like 30. Okay, what's this? Ooh. Oh. So rather than being a theme, this sounds like it's just from a horror movie. But I'm not sure what it's from. Oh yeah, Suspiria soundtrack is amazing by the band Goblin. Okay, so this is from a film that I've never seen, but I'm aware of this film. No Amityville crossover with DuckTales yet. Chris Lawrence, no. But we can only hold out hope that eventually we'll get it. We've got everything else, let's get DuckTales. Trick or Treat, Isa, is incredibly close. Trick or Treat, great movie, obviously set around rock and roll, heavy metal in the 1980s. I'm doing a lot of 80s, not on purpose though. Oh, Black Roses. Isa, you've got it. You've got it. And this is the movie. This is a song, Me Against the World. I've never seen Black Roses. Have you seen it? Do you recommend it? It was one of those movies that was one of those movies that was talked about on In Search of Darkness, the Shudder documentary, and it was one that I kind of added to my list and said I really need to see that. This is the thing, despite the fact that I host a horror movie podcast called Horror Hangout, but despite the fact that I do that, and we've done over 300 episodes, I've never seen so many films. So many films pop up where I go, oh, I've never seen that, I really need to check that out. And after watching In Search of Darkness on Shudder, all about 80s horror, I added so many films to my list. But yeah, Black Roses looks absolutely insane. So I've never seen Rock and Roll Nightmare either, Isa, but I have seen Trick or Treat. Me against the wall. I'm not gonna sing it. Let's do another one then. Let's maybe do something that isn't 80s. Even though I know we did a 70s film. Okay, I've got one. I see you're good at this, so here's the main title for a new horror movie. I don't mean a new horror movie as in a new release horror movie, I mean a new movie in this game. Whoa! Jesus. That was a bit scary. Unnecessarily scary. It's going to be difficult to get so far. pretty tough, actually. I wasn't sure what it was going to be, so... Not 70s. It might be a different piece of music from the film that makes it more easy to guess. But this is apparently the main theme, the main title. No problem. Let me turn it up. Turn it up for you, Isa. Is that loud enough? Not 80s, a bit later than that. Maybe I'll change the music to... Have a look. '90s, yes. Correct, 90s. Okay, I'm going to change the piece of music here. It sounds about the same as the main title there. Okay. This is just a different piece of music from the film. This isn't that easy. It clearly sounds that. No. Not easy, is it? Okay, here we go. Okay. The music isn't easy, so I'm going to give you some clues instead. So, mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s. It does sound incredibly familiar. I mean, I wouldn't get this, I don't think, just from this music. I thought the music maybe would be a bit more... I'll give you a clue. It's a monster movie, and it's got a very unique looking monster in it. A monster that I don't think is in anything else. It's not Castle Freak. But I like where your head's at. Oh, look at that. Relic is correct. The Relic is correct. Do It Lodge got in there just before, but Isa got in there immediately afterwards. I feel like you're on the same train of thought, so well done. The Relic is correct. The Relic is a movie that we've covered on the podcast before. Do you like that movie? Do you enjoy it? I watched it a lot when I was quite young. Made me feel a bit scared of museum hallways. Even night at a museum, I imagined it'd be great if there was a crossover with the movie The Relic. If everything was coming to life and suddenly we get the... I think it's called the Cafoga. Oh my god, Andy, it's you! Andy is the co-host of the podcast. But I don't think you're on that episode, Andy. So The Relic, we covered that in episode 88. We'll do another... While you're there then, Andy, we'll do another one. The Cathoga is the name of the creature, I believe. Very, very unique creature. It's like a reptilian tiger with like scorpion pincers on its face. All right, okay, I'll do a fairly easy one, and this is just going to be fastest finger first, because if Andy, the co-host of the podcast, is here, you should have better knowledge than anybody. Who knows? It's a challenge. I know you like a challenge, Andy. Okay, here's a new one. funky. It's not funky. Not Nightbreed. We covered this on the podcast a long time ago there. Long time ago. I'm doing all the wrong instruments. I'm enjoying it now. It almost has a Godzilla energy, March energy to it. It does. It's not Hammer. Isa, The Omen 2. I mean, as close can be, right there. As close can be. We covered this on episode 31 of the podcast. The Omen 1, correct. It is The Omen 1. That movie about a bloody bad boy, bloody devil child, Mr. Damien himself. It is The Omen. Original recipe Omen. Damien is a bad boy. The baboons bark at the bad boy. That happens. Okay. I can't actually stay on here too much longer, so let's go for another one. Let's go for one more. One more? Maybe one or two more. Grows up to be Alan Grant, but bad. Jerry Goldsmith, exactly. Amazing. To answer your previous question, Isa, my favourite horror movie soundtrack, I think, is 28 Days Later. And the reason for that is because it's mainly like guitars. It's not very orchestral at all. I don't think there's any orchestral music at all. It's mainly guitars, and I think it's really good at like building up tension. It's just great. I think it's good at sort of going between like ramping up the tension, but also like this tragedy as well. And some of the choices they've got for songs alongside the soundtrack as well are just really good. I think it just represents a sort of desolate, bleak UK. Oh yeah, the track in the supermarket, which is called something AM 180, something like that. Because that was what the vibes would be like if you were in a supermarket and you could just get whatever you want. Get all the whiskey, all the booze. Does anybody recognise this song? I don't recognise it now. Whoa! Desolate, bleak UK. It's really difficult to imagine this desolate, bleak UK where you go walking across the bridge in London with a carrier bag full of cans of Fanta. Just standard life for me. Listen to this. It is 80s as well, yeah. I wasn't hugely familiar with this film or this piece of music, to be fair. Feels 80s. It's not related to Freddy. How can I give you a clue without it being... It's a 1986 movie. Taking advantage of a certain boom. Definite B movie. Taking advantage of a certain boom of... I can't really say it. Night of the Creeps, no. Unfortunately not. Great film though, we covered that on the podcast fairly recently as well. See, a lot of these things I think, Pay the Main Theme is going to be really recognisable, and then it's quite, not generic, like... Okay, I'll give you another clue. Taking advantage of a boom in cinema where the antagonists were small and many. This film took advantage of a boom in cinema. Kicked off a couple of years before, where the antagonists are small and many. Small and many. But unfortunately it's not Ghoulies. And it's not The Gate either. A film that me and Andy did cover on the podcast with Emily Booth a while ago. Critters is correct. You've got it. Correct. Nice one. Good work. Again, that's the thing. I opened the main theme expecting to hear something really memorable, I guess. And I don't know, it doesn't sound like anything like I would have expected it to sound. But Critters, that's it. Nice work, I say indeed. Critters 2, is that the one with the big ball of critters? I'm going to have to jump off this live in a second, but thanks for playing along. Isa, you should definitely follow us here on TikTok, because we're trying to do more of these lives, fairly regularly, because they're fun. They are fun. Follow us, and if you fancy, check out the podcast as well, Horror Hangout. It's on all platforms, like Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, all that stuff. Give us a shout, and we're really interactive with everyone who listens. We've got a Patreon as well, bonus content on there, and everything's on YouTube, so you can go and see and interact with us. We love chatting horror with horror fans, so thanks for tuning in. That's been fun. That was good fun. Well done for getting so many correct. Isa pretty much came in initially in the early stages of this game and just wiped the floor of everybody. I think they left. Who can blame them? As I said, horror experts, horror beginners. We love chatting with everybody who's a fan of the genre. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Take care.